よしよし。俳句森こ森。山森です。謎解きをゲームします。そうですね。何か重要なヒントがそろそろよし。あと4人の謎がまたむしろ何か隠してるのかわからない。まあ自分の理解ではね、フィックスはパピが好き。でもペニーがフィックスとはペニーがフィックスが好き。でもフィックスがパピが好き。それだけです。僕が何してるのかまだわかんない。今度プロフェッサーが多分フィローラが好きだからと言っているかな。いやどうかな。思ってない。いやどうの今日は多分出たと。フェニックスは何か出るかな。
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, is less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
Oh. についてのはね、多分フィフィだ。
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do.
The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements, but it's not too bad. Might be salvageable.
The entire room is made of...
Oh, it's not just made, it's the actual hull of a ship.
他の謎はまだ。
It's a big...
There are weeds in there.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except anymore.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
はあはあ。今日は何か。
Pretty.
いや、この鳥ですね。この鳥が、ローラが大好きなペット。
Fiona Fellow. We met her. She is one of the suspects.
あ、いいじゃん。
A pillow with a paw print pattern.
It's a cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate.
あ
Do you think this was always supposed to be a bedroom?
I don't know. It is kind of a weird shape.
No windows either. Do you think this was always...
I don't know.
No windows either.
うーん。
It's a little glass...
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
あ
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
黒いラインがどういう意味？あー、こっかな。
This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
本日
What
の
were you
調
looking
査。
for?
That is between myself and my...
の調査。
People here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For
おー
what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth?
ー
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
うーん
Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
いやー。が大事。
Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah?
はっ、せかなぁ。こっちの
A
謎
little
はま
chart
だ。
of... Actually, I have no idea what it's about.
あー。全部。
Felix made that? Huh. Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, Once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
じゃあこれまだ大事ないです。
A little chart of. Actually, I have no idea what it is.
科学現象か。あ、いい。
What do you make?
Not a whole lot.
あ、わかんない。あ、と、かん。あんこは。はあ、はあ。わあ、フィーフィー。なそう。
Fifi's got
What
something?
is all that?
あ、こっちじゃない。なんだっけ。ここだっけ。
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. Pretty.
We're supposed to be.
And over here. A simple trick, but it really...
あ、図書館だ。
A chalkboard.
Is this a library?
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
Oh.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
Is she laughing?
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right. But why?
I do not know why. It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what.
Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that
Huh.
shelf.
Sure, why not?
The search for the archiving is downright poetic.
Uh,
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Ah. Ah. 大事なもの。
It's tidier than mine. The notebook is untouched.
So, even the most well-used notebooks.
謎を解けた。
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it. Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
かくて大きくて。
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
Ah. Ah.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
確かにね。たとえ壁に星がいっぱい書いていると、球威は変な形。この位置が変。確かに変。みんな一生出ていないですからさ、プロフェッサーと別は
Convenient?
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
You're
Hi.
not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
そうですあ
Pointer's telescope was
so-
actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's... you...
Ah,
it's a
ah,
very
ah, ah.
precious specimen. Incredibly rare. Valuable in ways you could never understand.
Ah,
Freya
ah,
was
ah.
always sneaking around. Both towers and in the gardens, too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
これ大事ですね。
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could.
そうね。岩には確かハーブ。何？
This wasn't here before.
何？カニだ。
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks...
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
この子は私の新しいお友達よ。彼は音楽が好きなメロディーがあれば、彼がそうえ死んでいない説がある。だって死体が見つけている。
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
ああ。やり残した仕事。これさ
I'm、still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
あ
Let's
なた
come
が
back later.
あ、音楽でコピーがこれ
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Ah, cool. No. あ、違う。これだ。これ。
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
あと2つ。
It's piano music.
Nachi desu ne. Mari. Ori-san?
We already solved it.
Oh,
A little tea set.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
Happy. Yeah.
There's an, you know, these.
Piano だけ。ハーブだよね。
Who plays the violin?
It's pretty dusty. So I'm guessing nobody.
Oh, whatever it is, it's.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass? Is that
of sorts? Hey, look, it's a model of Tangle Tower. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing. It's a barometer.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't. It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale?
Right now, it's just full of dough. It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure. What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he?
Well, if you tell too many.
Oh. An old.
Probably cursed.
That's a massive. Do you think this little?
I hope so.
どこだっけ？どこか。こっち？
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it. What is that?
Not sure.
Looks like it might attach to something.
Oh.
It's another little.
He's playing a lute this
He's
time.
also.
Well, they're not and they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
kind of lamp?
It's cool. Looks like old mining.
Wow.
We already solved it. Fifi's got something.
What is all this?
Yeah.
Did you notice who isn't?
Freya?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.そう。よし。最後の一つ。鳥の声。よし。出た。
That's all formality.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the...
出た。
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to solve... That's gotta...
違うの？
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
これが。
Are we gonna go in?
Yeah,
hi.
but there's a couple of things I want to do first.
そうなんだ。ちょっと待って。
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to
It's
say...
not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
まだ。疑惑。すべての疑惑がまだ解けていないけど。つまり。よし、だっけ。フィニックスを探そう。フィニックスは頭にも頻度がない。フィニックスであればまだある。フォークもあるな。フォークはプロフェッサーが雇って、レイヤーの調査かな。大事な虫が
It's bigger in here than I thought it would.
どうなほらね、全部質問します。
This one's in a little...
Okay, that is death.
Looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
このではない。
Now this is still in very good condition, apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning. My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. I've never seen that before. Looks valuable.
なんか大事なヒント。こんばんは、いらっしゃい。君頑張りありがとう。
We already solved it.
It's a big stone dais.
Biggest one I've ever seen. First one, too.
大ヒント。である。
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
I'd tell him not to quit his day job, but he hasn't got one, has he? Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
Oh.
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that.
いやー、違うな。
I was disappointed too.
タワーには何かな。むしろすべての人の中にある。
Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no then.
あの日。
A little chart of... Actually, I have no idea what it's about.
What you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
わかんねえ。
A little chart. Actually, I have no idea.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
なんかこの人は計算
A chalkboard?
Is this a library or a class?
ある。ABC はてな。はてな。
I'm not sure I learned anything from that. Books about ancient history?
These books are. I think they'd crumble into
Good
dust.
excuse.
Thanks.
なん
It's
か
musty in here.
What exactly does that mean?
Must. You ask such stupid.
Nice. Sure, why not, Bill?
The search for new. The archiving is downright poetic. It's an illustrated
It's
book,
been left
or it was left open.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
なんかこのインドでですとそうかなあー
Where did you find this?
Do you have any?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of
はあ
thinking.
はあはあ
Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
Ah.
A giant glowing gemstone full of
AKA a greenhouse.
Ah.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic power.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you in the rooftop garden with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done? Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
Those petals, they,
What?
they're red.
It's bigger in here than I thought. This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
It's bigger in here than I thought it would be. It's bigger in here than I thought.
All the flowers here look kind of
Can
poison.
flowers be poison?
Anything can be
Good to know. Is that fruit?
too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried, in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks. A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
How odd.
Curious.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring. Who is this her to whom the message refers?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object? Next! The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they? Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Dearest Flora. A remarkable...
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
わかった。このについては全部質問しますと人物
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
Yeah.
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
いや、あと
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
Oh.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see. Fifi, doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
A little chart of. Actually, I have no idea what it's about.
ただ
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology. Tools used by a gardener for gardening. A wooden trunk.
I want one.
I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless. Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite. Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition, no focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely. Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious. I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoilt child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
25じゃなくて27が。
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way. Feathers flashing in the light, from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage.
Are we gonna go in?
Yeah, but there's a couple of things I want to do first. The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle. No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again. There it is, the unfinished portrait.
So, what?
Looks that way. Freya's painting supplies. him as a stranger.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
どうしますか。確か結構遠いですね。
The outline of... There's a single... No.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right
So?
up, so she was probably...
Let's check the case file again. Were you close with Freya? How are you two related? Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
So,
Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was gonna say something there.
そうだね。反応があるけど、あんま喋れない。
Supposedly, Freya was looks like she was
Didn't
still...
even get a chance to clean her brush.
If you don't.
I require facts. What do
Well, we know Freya was stabbed... with a-
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which, as a mere abstract representation, does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife. Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a...
24?
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So, what's your problem with him?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
はあ。はあはあ。なんか解けた。
Name, Poppy Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, oh. Apparently, Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
はあ。ナイフか。あー。なんかな。
Name, Hawkshaw. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard.
あー、かわいそう。
That blade,
It's a troll for gardening.
it is. Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue.
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be? I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz. It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya? A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint. Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No? Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct. An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
You two are friends, right?
We are, yes.
But?
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
Is it anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere.
Yeah, I can speak English. Just a little bit. But quite a long time didn't. Oh, quite bad English. わかります。こうかな。
Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Puppy color.
Of course. Name, Penelope Pointer, age 27. Profession, ornithologist. Like birds. Like insects. Notes. Penelope
石が嫌い。
is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her.
ポンタは虫かけ。
Name, Percival Pointer, age 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh, yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me.
怪しいな。
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond. Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became 1. Increasingly independent, and 2. Increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
何かまだ。
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are?
もう解けてるよ。
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues. Freya drew these,
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Her. プレイヤーのことかな。
This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Oh, yes. It has a telescopic lens. It could only be used for looking at things that are far away.
いや、ちょっと待って。確か、音節にある面が、語学すると、なんだろう。
Books about geography.
Skip.
じゃあ場所の番Oh, no.
It's musty in here.
What exactly does
Must, you asked us.
Nice. A chalkboard.
Is this a library or...
これさ、まあ、よいしょっと。
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
あとは、
A little chart of, actually, I have no idea what it's about.
look for. Nah.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell. Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
How?
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you
今
questioned
まで
it,
の
but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
今までの推理と同じですね。プロフェッサーが、ホンダが、僕が雇って食事がなく他の事件が調査して、みんなを調査して、もう多分フィニックスがやったかも。だって彼はそういうものが好きですから。はね、どうやって飛ぶかなかもな感じで。
He's not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse. It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
A microscopic lens, according to Fifi, uses the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Nope.
ちょっと待って。
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a microscopic almost. Maybe just. The handheld microscope was created by Fifi to use a microscopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. That's not right.
なんか
A microscopic lens was created by Fifi to use the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. That's not right either. A telescopic lens is made entirely out of the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw stole it. That's not right
あ、
either.
違う。これだ。
A telescopic lens is made entirely out of the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. That's not right either.
あと一歩。あと。
microscopic lens is made entirely out of the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. That's not right either.
あと一歩なんだ。
A microscopic lens, according to Fifi, uses the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. That's not right either. A microscopic lens was created by Fifi to use the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. That's not right either.
なんかあと。
A telescopic lens is a part of the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw. That's not right either. The handheld microscope is a part of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw stole it. That's not right either.
なんだ。表現。ピンクがフィーだからフィーフィー。嘘ついてる。
The handheld microscope is made entirely out of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just change one. The handheld microscope is made entirely out of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw stole it. That's not right either. The handheld microscope is made entirely out of a magnifying glass, so Hawkshaw lied about it. That's not right either. The handheld microscope is a part of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just... The handheld microscope, according to Hawkshaw, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just... The handheld microscope was created by Fifi to use a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost.
こっちですね。
The handheld microscope is made entirely out of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just...
Yeah.
The handheld microscope was created... Almost.
違う。
Maybe just... The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
もともとはフィフィ
Aksha, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor
そ
Pointer
う
who
ね
had hired
プロ
me,
フェッサー
I
で
dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is
Phoenix.
your murder victim.
はフェニックスじゃないのフェニックスとないのじゃあフェニックスに
Foregone drifter, holding fast. Days a shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some four walls make around a room.
あ
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities.
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends. What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials?
ないか。聞いた。権利と判断。
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
If
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent. Oh, that's rather sad. Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that.
女性の年齢は秘密ですからさ。
Any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look. I don't know what that is. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Lovely.
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental. I don't like mirrors.
How do you...
I do by weight. I can feel it.
何が大事？話す。
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Started.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve. Got it, thanks. For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things. She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. You don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
Okay.
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. Yes, it's my... my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it? Between you and me,
I think it's a little vulgar.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something.
Let's ask him about it.
ペニーがお花が好きではないですからさ、だからフィッツが彼女あんまり好きではない。
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
これだ。
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to cut a potted flower in Penny's room. Almost. Maybe just...
この花のお世話でそうだ使えない
An ornate trowel is the only thing that can destroy a potted flower in Penny's room. Almost. Maybe just... An ornate trowel is part of a matching set with a potted flower in Penny's room. Almost. Maybe just change one. An ornate trowel was used to bury a potted flower in Penny's room. Almost. An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to cut a potted flower in Penny's room. Almost. Maybe just... An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes?
I've never seen it before.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
あの花は見たことがない。
Let's take a closer look at these. The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence?
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again. When she's not there, water the flower, change the soil, just trying to keep it alive.
そうなんだ。そういえば確かに似てる。いい。パート。確かに。つまり今残ってるのは
Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival. Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower. Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine, supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
There's something about Felix's painting supplies. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
So, about this paint we found in your room.
No.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
あなたのではない。
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to. Let's take a closer look at this.
そうそうそうそう、形が違う。今気づいた。
Freya's red paint pot was used to paint Felix's red paint pot and broken by Felix. Nope. Freya's blue paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, and both were left in Flora's tower. That's not right. Freya's red paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, and broken by Felix. That's not right either. Freya's red paint pot was used to paint Felix's red paint pot, and broken by Felix. That's not right either. Freya's red paint pot was broken by Felix's red paint pot, but Freya noticed what has happened. That's not right either. Freya's red paint pot was used to paint Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. Almost. Maybe just Freya's red paint pot was used to paint Felix's red paint pot, and broken by Felix. That's not right either. Freya's red paint pot was used to paint the model of a bird, but the lids were swapped to hide it. That's not right either. Freya's red... Almost. Maybe just change...
Oh.
Freya's red paint... Almost. Maybe just... Freya's red paint pot was... Almost. Maybe... Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya supplies, not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is
形が
connected
違
to
うです
your
からさ。
murder.
だってそのは壊れたんですからさ、使えときことだからなぜか
This red paint pot was used to fill up blood by Freya several weeks ago. Nope. This red paint pot contained no red paint and emptied out onto the floor. That's not right.
これ2つは多分
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood by Freya several weeks ago. Almost. Maybe just... This red paint pot was used to fill up blood by Freya several weeks ago. That's not right either. This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something. Right, fine. Here's the story. I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday. I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
Let's go over what we know. We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
The painted ink dip feather was used to paint the red tip of blood from the paint pot to resemble a bloody knife. Nope. The painted Flora was used to paint the red tip of blood from the paint pot to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right. Paint from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of blood from the paint pot so it could stab Freya. That's not right either. painted ink dip feather was used to paint. That's not right either.
가운. 에이셔.
The painted ink dip feather was designed to match blood from the paint pot to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right either. A real knife was designed to match blood from the paint pot to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right either.
가운. 가까이.
The painted ink dip feather was used to hide blood from the paint pot to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right either. The painted ink dip feather was used to paint the red tip of blood. That's not right either.
시간. この2つは確か
Paint from the paint pot was almost. Maybe just change one.
が
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated. Are we done?
For now. It's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
そうか。
Where do you think it goes?
それでも、行こうか。それでも、来週こそ謎を解く
Down.
悩むな。いやー、来週にしよう。
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to
It's
say,
not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
で、トイレ。まあ、来週多分、すべてのことがある。何か、このタワーには人がある。じゃあ、明日また、だか、なんもないです。土曜日、金曜日、土曜日が配信。なんだっけ、久々の FF と、あ、違う、スタードルバレー。はあ、じゃあ、謎とか。来週解けます。はい。で、ありがとうございました。じゃあ、本日はここまでにしよう。皆さん、おやすみです。